Okay, guys. This video is going to be my reaction to an interview with Don Wells' stepsister Mary Howard. I listened to that interview. I took notes the entire time, and I'm going to just, put down what I heard and just give you that synopsis of what happened there and what I thought. Also, I'm going to go over a phone call, a very short phone call that Don Wells had. And the links to the channels where these appeared, first one's going to be unmasked, I will put in the video description when I'm finished with this, okay? All right. So let's go over this one with Mary Howard. All right, let me just make sure that you can, hold on 1 second, make sure you can hear me before I even start, and you can hear me. Okay, hi everybody, hi Sandy, hi Ash Lewis, hi Mary Beth, hi Tammy, Rosalita Marie, Lisa Hobbs, Mimi, Chewy Gum TV, 10th Angel, Jamie, Amy Celeste, Pamela, York Hill, Nora Woods, Tammy McD, Brenda, Teresa Moreno. We're also going to, I'm also going to talk about what's going on in the Facebook groups with this case and show some posts that are relevant to what is said in this interview, okay? I'm going to show that as well. This is not the movie night, Chewy Gum. Movie night will be at, what did I say? Around 10:30, but I'll update more when I see how the day is going because it was raining hard before and now the sun is shining, so we'll see, okay? But it'll be tonight at some time. I'll post again in the member section, okay? Stacy H, where are we? Nana Patty, Mimi H, Scooter, okay. Okay, you watch the boaters and floaters. All right, so first thing is first, she gave the background. Again, she is the stepsister. So she says she met Donnie. Okay, this gets confusing because Don Wells, Summer's father, his father is Don, and his son, his oldest son that he had with, I believe it was his first wife. Yeah, it was definitely his first wife, is Donnie too. So I don't know if they exactly have the same middle name so that they are a, first, second, and third. So it gets confusing, but she met Donnie, meaning Summer's father, when she was 4 years old, probably, she says. And how did that happen? She said that her mother answered a babysitting ad for Donnie's, again, Summer's father's parents. And at the time, Mary's mother started babysitting for them. She said that Dawn and her are about a month apart, okay? So they were both around 4, and then there were 2 younger sisters, 3 and 2. And she said about a year later, Dawn's dad started seeing Mary's mom. And they were both married. So Mary's mother was married to someone else. Of course, Dawn is married to someone else. Took a while, get a divorce and everything. So it took about 7 years before they got married. And when they married, let's see, her mom had 6 children and Dawn's dad had 3 children. Now the oldest sister, Debbie, was out of the house and married, and an older brother that was 1 year younger than Debbie was out. And these are Mary's mother's kids. So Mary's mother had 4 kids when she moved in. I think one might have she says she has a youngest sister, and it sounds like the sister's very young. She's in a crib. I would imagine the father of that child is Don Sr. Don, at the time, Sr., I guess we'll call him Don Sr. And so there were 4 and 3 together. Now, Mary and Don were both born 1 month apart in 1964. And combining the families was very hard, partially because they lived in a 2-bedroom trailer. And that's when she said her little sister, Jeannie, was in a crib in 1 bedroom, and then there was a set of bunk beds, and other kids slept in the front room. And so that's also where the parents slept. But they were always outside playing. And there was a pretty good relationship between the kids because they all knew each other before. They went to some of the same schools when they were younger. And what was the relationship like between the exes of Don and Mary? She said that Don's mother did a lot of drugs from what she was told. Cocaine, she took a lot of pills, but back in the 70s, excuse me, back in the 70s, a lot of doctors prescribed pills, and they did do this stuff like that back then, yeah. But apparently she was abusing them, okay? Allegedly. Her dad, now this is Mary's dad. Her dad and her mother always had a rocky marriage, and she didn't really know her father until she was about the age of 10, and then she knew him not so well. Just, she said that Don's father was a much better father than her real dad. And she said that her mother and father, and she considers, when she talks about her mother and father now, it's going to be Mary's biological mother and her stepfather. They live about 15 minutes from her in Utah. She said Don got into a lot of trouble. And when he was 5 years old, Don and his sister were playing with matches in a barn. And the barn ended up, because of the hay, burning down. And it was really bad. Excuse me. And animals died. Horses, cattle, goats perished. The hay, all of that. It was really bad, and she remembers that. His teenage years, when he was about 15, is when he started stealing from stores. He was always going to a place for unruly teenagers. I think she means like a juvenile detention home or something, to get on the right track. She said he got married around 1984 and 1985, and his oldest son was born around the time one of her children were born, her firstborn, 1986. And then asked if they were close, she said yes. Don and his first wife and Mary and her ex-husband, she said they were always coming on over to their house. And they were always together, and she was trying to help with the kids. And when asked about something that went around about Don trying to sell his 2 older children, she said no, it wasn't the 2 older children. It was only the oldest son that he tried to sell. She said she remembers it that his first wife came over to Mary's mother and father's house. Again, when Mary says this is her biological mother and Don's father. And the first wife said that she caught Donnie trying to sell their 2-year-old son for drugs. He was doing a lot of drugs at the time, obviously. The 2 older children, it is said, she was asked this, were they in very bad condition? Because she said it's been seen that, or heard, that they had maggots in diapers. She says she knows nothing about maggots in diapers, but this, yes. They were always in dirty clothes with dirty diapers, and the house was very, very messy. Again, drugs, stuff like that going on. She would try, Mary, the stepsister, would try every time she went by that way to shop or something. She would go over, bathe the kids, get them clean clothes. And she said that she didn't even really think that Don's first wife knew how to care for children, even knew the proper things to do, even though she had 5 to 6 kids before she had these 2, and they were all taken away from her. She didn't know how to cook. She didn't know how to clean. She didn't know how to take care of children. She said of one instance where the oldest was 2 weeks old and he was in a crib with a bottle propped up. She said that the first wife was about 10 years older than Donnie, and probably 65 years old by now. Did they call CPS? She said they always called CPS. A lot of family members did. They felt very sorry for the children, but CPS never did anything. The only thing they did was make his first wife take parenting classes, and they almost took the kids if she didn't do that. She ended up taking only a couple of classes, and if CPS would come to take the kids, what they would do, they would leave, move, and then come back, and people would be, hey, where were you? You know, they just went away for a while. Now, she said at one point they tried to adopt the little girl whose name was Margie when she was about 3 years old. And she talked with her husband and said, look, they need money. And here's this little girl that we could save and we could raise her. We could adopt her. So they were coming over to sign papers and everything, and they were going to do it. But the first wife kept wanting to have a lot of contact. She said she was going to keep coming over, spending time with the girl, and, take her away if she wanted to somewhere. And Mary said, no, this is not going to work out. So the whole thing fell through. They asked if she ever observed any physical abuse of the children. She said no. She never saw anyone even hit the kids. But yes, on the dirty diapers, dirty clothes, and yucky conditions, living in yucky conditions. And since she had kids around the same age, she said that she would bring them hand-me-downs. She said that the ex-wife eventually took the kids to various states, including Arkansas, Tennessee, Kentucky. And one time, Mary's mom got a call from whatever state she was living in with the kids at the time, saying that the kids had lice and the kids had scabies, and that she was going to go take the kids, Mary's mom. And I guess when they went to pick up the kids, they found Don's first wife living in a house with no walls. And so essentially she was, kind of homeless with the kids. And I guess they brought the kids back, and she remembers Donnie saying that his first wife was homeless when he met her. And Mary said, she is now homeless again in Ogden, Utah. She lives on the streets. She begs for food. Sometimes she goes over to her mother's house. Little Donnie, as she calls Don's first son, lives in Ogden, and she sees him sometimes. Margie is married, has a couple of kids on her own. She doesn't know where she's living, and she hasn't seen her in about 15 years. Now let's see. Her brother Donnie left Utah about 20 years ago or more, she said. And back in, I think it was last August, he came out with his oldest son with Candus, Josie, just the two of them. And Mary's mother called her and said, you're not going to guess who's here. Donnie's here with their oldest son. So Mary went over, said that Donnie just kind of showed up. And then later he told them that he wanted to move back to Utah. Said that Candus was with the rest of the kids packing up the house and getting it up for sale. And then he would go back, pick them up, and move them out. In the meantime, Johnny got a job out there. And why it didn't work out was that Mary said the housing market skyrocketed in Utah in that area. So a house that was $200,000 was now $600,000, and their house in Tennessee probably was only worth $60,000, and there was no way to swing that. Now, there is mention of a Facebook post of Candus's back in March of 2020 where it shows she put up or was trying to put her house up for sale, their house up for sale for $70,000. But again, once Don saw the housing prices, saw that it would not be feasible. The Tennessee property that they lived on was left to Don by his mother. Now, she remembers one day her mother complaining because she said that Don said he was going to move everyone, including his mother-in-law, in with his father and Mary's mother, his father and stepmother. And Mary told her mother that cannot happen. So he was out there from August to October of 2020. Now, while he was there, she tried to talk to the oldest boy, Josie, but he would not talk to her. Mary's mother said he was just shy. But there was one instance where he was in the house, not in that motorhome or travel trailer or whatever, a motorhome in the driveway. And Mary was trying to talk to him because he was watching cartoons. And at that point, Donnie comes home. He's very upset that, first of all, Josie is in the house, but very upset that Mary is trying to talk to him. Regarding school, she never saw any schoolwork being done, and Donnie said that the boy was enrolled, but she never saw him go to school or do schoolwork. Donnie at the time was working for a contractor in Park City, and she would say Josie is withdrawn and shy. Now, 4 days after he left from there, he is in jail for beating up some guy that Candus had living in the house. Candus called the cops on Donnie, and Donnie never talked about his kids or his marital issues when he was in Utah. Where does Mary get all of her information? Why, she gets it from her mother, okay? Donnie calls his dad 1 time a week at least, and then it's relayed to her mother, who relays it to Mary, game of telephone. Okay, how did you find out Summer was missing? She said she found out from her sister a couple of days after, and it was through a Facebook post that her sister posted about her missing niece. Okay, she then called her mother, and her mother said that the day that Summer disappeared, that Donnie called his father and said, "My daughter is missing." She only knows what her mother has said about it. Her parents are very upset. Don's dad is going crazy. He's 84, 85 years old. He's bedridden. Her mother's 77. They both have Alzheimer's, and her mother has dementia, though she takes pills for it. They asked, does she know what Don is saying about this? Not really. She has no clue. She can only speculate. And rumors that Don ran away or took off, she says she has no idea. She does know that Candus told a reporter at the park that one morning she just got up and Don was gone. Okay, and then her mom said that Don would not answer his phone, and Robin from the church allegedly got a hold of Don and talked him into returning to home. But there's no confirmation on any of that, okay? That's all rumors at this point through various sources that are not, law enforcement or anything like that. She said, Mary said, Don has never been religious. The only times he gets like that is when he would get into trouble or when he got out of prison, meaning that's the way he turned when he was in prison. But a month later, he would be in drugs again, in jail. Let's see. Asked about any drug use when he was up in Utah in 2020. She said, yes, he smoked a lot of weed, okay? And in fact, her father has a medical marijuana card, and Donnie was stealing that. Confirming that the boys were taken by CPS. Yes, the 3 boys were taken. She said that Donnie, I guess, called his father, crying, blaming the kids being taken on his niece Trish and sister Jeannie, who's his stepsister and stepniece. And he even blamed Mary's daughter Amanda, which Mary doesn't understand why you would blame Amanda, because Amanda didn't do anything, she said. He believes the boys were taken because Jeannie and Trish were putting stuff on Facebook, okay, about what Donnie did to the sister, and that included R-ing and SA, okay? Now, Mary says she heard on the day that Summer went missing, CPS was supposed to take all 4 children into their custody. Again, this is what she's heard. This is not from law enforcement. And Candus told Mary's sister, who I think is Jeannie, that what did I say? Candus told Mary's sister they stopped taking the kids. Oh, yeah, they stopped taking the kids because Summer was missing. So that they had planned to take the kids, and because the whole thing was Summer missing, that CPS then said, we're not going to take the kids. I don't believe that. I think that if CPS was going to take the kids and Summer was missing, that they would have taken the kids even more so than if a child goes missing. That's my thoughts on that. That's my reaction. That's my thoughts. But again, Mary says she's just guessing, but she thinks maybe they could be taking them because the house is messy, but she was never there, so she can't say. She's only going by the past on how Dawn used to keep things, just guessing. And let's see. She had heard that CPS has been at their house numerous times before Summer went missing. And they asked her, when you are talking to your parents or your sister, do you have any thoughts? And she said she thinks there is more to this whole thing, and she thinks something was starting when Donnie came out there back last August. Something was going on. And she says that still the same thing that Donnie says. Candus called him at work when Summer went missing, the calls to 911. She saw their interviews, and she knows that people were saying that he was controlling. She could tell he was crying. And in his interview that he had with Josie, she thinks he's sincere and that he has nothing to do with it. And let's see. Somebody asked, would they hide Summer because CPS was coming? She says, I don't know. I just, hope they find her. This is devastating. Let's see. She said, of course I will try to defend my family, but I'm not defending Dawn and Candus. Now, she doesn't know if the mother-in-law has left the area. Her sister then appeared in the chat and said that CPS did not take the children because of any Facebook posts, but just Donnie is blaming it on posts. And we're going to go over those posts in a minute. I'm going to pull them up. She claims she never met Candus or Summer, or any of the other children besides Josie, okay? Because they had moved away, right? Does not know how Dawn and Candus met, yet when he first met her, she would hear things through his mother about how he met her and he moved her in and they were having kids, and she said to her mother at the time that this could be good. This could help him do better. If you have a good person in your life, it could keep you on the straight and narrow road. And he was in and out of prison and jail since he was 17, 18 years old. So she thought a good woman could help. She doesn't know if they are legally married. She knows nothing about the mother-in-law, Candy. And asked about another child after Summer. She believes there was another child after Summer, does not know if it was a boy or a girl, but that she believes she was told it was given up for adoption, but she's not completely sure. Have you ever been told that Summer's nonverbal? No, but through one sister, she said that the sister said Summer was maybe kind of slow, but in her learning, but she never heard of nonverbal. And about Summer's hair being shaved, she said, well, she doesn't know for sure, but thinks it's probably lice. Dawn's older kids had lice all the time, and what they would do is shave their heads. And so she's just imagining that, and even Dawn's first wife would have it. So let's see, about the Candus's missing sister, Rose. She doesn't really know anything other than what she's seen on social media. And she has never again met any child other than Josie. Now, she said Dawn's oldest son went out there, I guess, and met them, but it was when, I think she said the oldest was 6 months old. And they asked her about if she knew that Midwest Equisearch was coming. She said yes. She's hoping like crazy that they find something. Do you know the relationship with Donnie? And his daughter, she said, well, when he was out there, he went to the son's house regularly. They have a pretty good relationship, but as for Margie, she has no idea. Again, she has never seen Margie in 15 years now. Do you think there could be any truth that Summer was given away or sold? And she said there's only little gut feelings that maybe she was given away, but she doesn't know. Donnie kept talking about trafficking, and she made a Facebook post that she got a lot of flack for, wondering if people were checking these sites where children were trafficked to see if anyone could see Summer's picture there, and that made people very angry, she said. And she thinks that Dawn, having found out that there was a lot of offenders in the area, came up with this trafficking thing, but it didn't seem like she thought that it was really true. There was a thing, which again she heard through her sister, that before Summer went missing, some guy set up a tent on Donnie and Candus's property, and they tried to go out there. It got very heated. It got very ugly. The guy would not leave. They had to call the cops. The police came, and they were removed from the premises. Is anyone staying in any of the outbuildings? And that you heard that was looking at the kids or wanting to do anything with the kids? And she said no. The only one she heard of is the 10th incident. Okay, that's according to her. Now, when asked if she saw interviews with Hunter and with Hunter's mother, Allie, she says she thinks Hunter knows more than he's saying, and his mom, is just trying to protect him, but those are just her thoughts. She has really nothing else to say except she is praying that they find her. And she cries for Summer even though she never met her. It's tearing the family apart. She really doesn't think Dawn had anything to do with this. She then mentions a wild boar that can pick up a person and leave no trace of them. She talks about bears and talks about Summer going off and maybe cuddling with a bear cub, something like that. She talks about a 2-year-old boy that disappeared around where they are and was found a few days later, 20 miles away, alive and well. I guess she hopes that for her niece. When asked if Dawn would cover for Candus, she says, maybe. And she said, people said he seemed controlling in his interviews because the way Candus was looking at him as if for approval of what she was saying. And she said that her stepfather is very controlling and always has been of the mother, and that Dawn probably learned that behavior from there. And if that's what he's showing, it's because of his father and what he's learned. So, let's see. And what kind of controlling? It's mind controlling, she says. It's mind control. The whole situation's very sad. About lie detectors, she says she doesn't know. He says in interviews about the lie detectors, no one knows, she said. When asked about any abuse that she knows about between Dawn and Summer, she said, I hope not. She said that she was even a victim of Dawn's when she was about 13 with him and his friends. Okay, and she said that Donnie said he was not going to drink or do drugs, that he learned his lesson 3 weeks ago. And she thought, well, what lesson did you learn? Because remember that he only turns to drugs or alcohol, according to her, when something's gone bad. So that made her think something went bad, I guess. And let's see. They asked about what Hunter said about the day Summer went missing, that Dawn took the boys to work. She said the only thing she ever heard about that was from Hunter in that interview. What does she think about the religious stuff that Dawn is posting? Is that normal? She said it is not normal. Again, he turns to the Bible after things go bad or he's in jail. It only lasts about a month or two before he's back to his old self. She doesn't know if he got into religion after October when he left. And then regarding Facebook, she told him to stop accepting all these new friends, to stop posting, and she says he finally shut it down, but that's not true because we're going to show. She asked her sister, and why are you posting this stuff on, and that's something else we're going to go through, why they are posting this stuff on Facebook instead of just talking to law enforcement, because she said her sister told her that they are posting this stuff on Facebook so that they have info on Summer. Now, if she means law enforcement who needs it, you don't have to post it on Facebook, right? And it's just causing like craziness, and we'll go through that in a minute. Thank you, Debbie, and I did see your pool picture. Very beautiful. Does Dawn ever mention that creepy guy on the property again that Hunter said? She said no again, just the tent is the only thing I've heard. Okay. So many things are going through her mind. And when asked about the kind of drugs that Donnie did, she said, again, he smoked a lot of weed. But she then started to talk about meth use and her own experience with people that use meth, and says that when they start using that, they will come around and they're acting very weird and different, and they get very, very mad at things. And when they get mad, they will retaliate. And she has known him to use weed and alcohol, but he did a lot of drugs before he ever went to Tennessee. She has no clue if him or Candus were ever drug tested. And again, she mentions that her sister and niece only posted that stuff to get it out to law enforcement, to which I said, couldn't they call them? If that was to go to law enforcement, why post it on Facebook? And she said that there's going to be a telephone interview that Chris McDonough is doing with Candus by telephone. That's supposed to be, no, she didn't say that. I'm sorry. She didn't say that. She did not say that. That I found, I think it was in one of the Facebook groups, that there's an interview with Candus by telephone by the Chris McDonough gentleman tomorrow that will be posted. Now, before we go through Dawn's short phone call, I want to show you the posts that they're talking about in case you haven't seen them. And then we're going to talk a little bit about what's going on. Again, like we've done in many other cases about these Facebook groups, because just as we saw with Cash Gurnan, they can get out of control really, really quickly. And law enforcement has issued statements, okay, especially in the Cash Gurnan case, that because of groups like this, and again, I don't want people to come at me and say that I'm saying this, that, or the other thing. I'm merely saying what law enforcement themselves have said, okay? And I can even read, and I know I've read their statements before, that when YouTubers, when Facebook groups, when people put out things, rumors like facts, and I'm not saying that this is not this one, we know where it's coming from. We know the people that are doing this kind of stuff. And when that's happening, then people are calling in tips to law enforcement, tips that they must check out. So their time is being wasted, okay? Because some people have no morals, ethics, whatever, and they want to come with breaking news with every little thing, and no one is vetted. No one even knows who this person is, okay? I'm not talking about it doesn't matter how many times I say it, someone is going to twist it. I'm not talking about every single person, every single interview. The ones that are vetted, the ones that are done properly, okay. But still, I do have a question myself about interviews. If people are close, even in these Facebook groups, you'll see they say these people should stop talking. They should be talking only to law enforcement. There's a reason why law enforcement doesn't release interviews before a case is closed. That is just the facts. Okay, so we could talk all night long about ethics, and you can tell me, well, this person's doing this right and this person's doing that right. At the end of the day, we have to see, right, what's going on. And maybe sometime it won't be the right thing, or it will be the right thing. But we can only ask questions, and I myself have questioned everything. That's my philosophy. So I'm sorry if some of you are taking it to heart that you think your favorite creator is being signaled out. No, that's not the case. I'm asking a question, and I will call out creators, as I've done in the past, that are doing things that are completely unethical, like posting casket pictures when the family said, please don't post that, and lying about how they got the pictures, and lying that the family said go on and do it when it was not wanted up there. And it wanted it down. Okay? So, yeah, I will call out things like that. But let me go to, anyway. Let's look at the post. see if this is the one. Hold on, I just want to get to her. I want to get to this sister. And now again, in general, I don't think even people should be posting about their marital spats and things on Facebook. Okay, I just don't think that's my opinion. So do I think somebody should be posting stuff like this? In my opinion, no. But that's my opinion, and that's what I can give here. Your opinion may be different. That's fine. Do I think it will come to a time that somebody will claim, especially, now I'm not saying again that anyone is being paid for these interviews. Do I think there could be a time that somebody would pay for interviews? Yes, I do think there could be a time. Do I think that when there's money, things happen? Yeah, I do. Do I think that somebody that wanted money could pose as a family member? Yes, I do. We've seen imposters day and night, okay? I know it firsthand. That, again, is my opinion. Okay, I'm just going to try to get to the first post. Here we go. That's the response. So we are looking. Okay, so let me go to, well, because I have these on my other computer, so since finding these, we're going to start to the post that after Don had said he was taking a break from social media, he came back on social media, okay? And regarding what Mary said about him blaming the sister and nieces, we're going to go to the post where he did that. So well, let's go to maybe see which this one is. Okay, so this is his niece, Trish, okay? And I'm reading her post here. She's responding to somebody. She says, none of his stepfamily even care about money. None of us ever have, and my grandparents are on Social Security and have no money. So not even sure why he is stating anything about money, to be honest. What's sad is the fact he won't even bother to actually talk to any of us privately, even though we've all tried in order to avoid the drama. It makes no sense. So what it appears Trish is doing is because he's saying something, she wants to defend herself publicly against what he's saying. So that sounds like more about why she's posting rather than trying to get it to law enforcement. And let me go to that. That's in regards to, I'll show you about something Donnie posted. So hang on. So Donald said, So many posts here. Hang on. I just had Donnie's post. Okay, so here's what he said. Well, how did my daughter's disappearance suddenly turn to all about my stepfamily? Are they so greedy as to forget all about what this is all about? Did Trish even try to pay my dad back any of the $20,000 she borrowed? No, and never will. Did Jeannie mention to anyone about 12-year-old Ronnie when they first got together? Hell no. You all have successfully managed to ruin my name time after time, make my dad hate me, and get me barred from the family for life. You all can have what's left of my dad, that's fine. You can't ruin me any more than you have. I'm sure you will all keep trying, though. You can have whatever's left. You've been bilking money for my dad for years, and you didn't want me in the way. Well, I'll never even call my dad again, ever again. You can have it all, whatever's left. And then the response from the sister is, Donnie, me nor Trish has ever borrowed money from Dad. I know that Dad tells everyone that, but that is completely untrue. I feel like we all just need to get together on a soon call and get this all out. How about it? Will you agree? And I mean everything, including the things you did to me. I will be willing to take a lie detector test on the money, abuse, and everything I witnessed as a child or growing up, everything. If the media is watching, please, I'm begging for you to set it up. I'm tired of this. The only reason I spilled your precious secret was because I thought it might help with the investigation of Summer. And the only reason I allowed posting on social media was because you called Dad and blew everything out of proportion. I cannot even go see my own mother, who is not doing very well right now because I'm kicked out of the family for telling the truth. So it sounds like this family is going through a tremendous amount and they're all battling with each other. And this is not at all in any ways productive to any situation. I think we can all probably agree on that. And let's see. Let me go over here and see where we have. She does post another post, Jeannie, responding to someone, I guess, asking about the abuse. And she said, if you're referring to Donnie, it started when I was 4. Donnie was 11. I never participated in abuse. Never, she says. And she says in the beginning it was just games and that he told her he'd die if she told. She didn't want him to die. And then she said more physical stuff didn't start till she was 7 or 8, so maybe he would be 13 or 14-ish. But she doesn't, let's see. So then she says to another person, this is Jeannie again, the sister, he'll hang himself eventually. I'm not lying. I never have. If I can get a TV lie detector, then I'll pay for one. If I can't get a TV lie detector, she wants to take a lie detector on national TV. And if she can't get one of those major media stations to cover that, she'll pay for one herself. I've had one lined up already. I just want it done live so nobody can say it was rigged. And then she responds to another one. I'll give you the facts. Tell Donnie to do a side-by-side live detector with me live on TV, and then you'll get the facts. And then Mary Howard, again, the woman whose interview I just reacted to, said, Donnie, nobody has turned out against you. If anybody has turned out against you, it's you. The whole time you were down here, all you did was steal, I think she means steal, Dad's, Mary Jane, drink every night, drink every flipping day and night, and sit and fight and argue with Dad and try and get him to fight you Who the hell tries to make their 84-year-old bedridden dad get up and fight them and argue with them? And you want to talk about greedy or people stealing from dad or money, not repaying money? What about the thousands and thousands of dollars you stole from mom and dad? What about their wedding rings that you stole from mom and dad? What about all the household items, all the tools, everything you stole from dad in the past? Not to mention the Mary Jane that you effing stole from him when you were here. You have nobody to blame but yourself. And then Mary is responding to someone else and says, excuse me, you have no flipping idea what has gone on in this family and how Donnie blames everybody, especially my dad, for his problems. Every time he gets in trouble, every time he's done anything wrong, he's tried to blame my dad for his problems and what's gone wrong in his life, not to mention everybody else in the family. You know the reason why my dad is pissed off at him is because he called him a couple of weeks ago bragging to him about all the dang money they're making off the GoFundMe accounts. That's why my dad is pissed off at him. Go ahead and stick up for him. That's what he wants. He wants people to feel sorry for him. And let's see. She replies again to another person. For your information, he didn't just call to brag about the GoFundMe account. He calls my dad at least twice a week, okay? And yes, and the other one, she says once a week, so twice a week, it's okay. And the reason my dad got pissed was because he doesn't think it's right to try and make money off of your missing daughter. And here's Donnie once again trying to blame his dad, being pissed off at him on everyone else. I really feel sorry for you guys because all you're doing is playing into his game. He wants everybody to feel sorry for him. Well, guess what? It's not working this time with his family, and he knows it, and he's pissed. And she answers again to someone saying, well, that's funny because he's the one who started this whole stupid conversation. I said it once, I'll say it again. It sure is strange how so many people know more about our family than we do. And then she's posting again. Again, this is the sister that just gave that interview I reacted to. Why is it every time you get in trouble, I guess she's speaking here, you try to blame someone else? That's all you've done your whole life is blame all of your problems on everybody else, especially dad. You're just pissed off because dad's mad at you because a couple of weeks ago, oh, hold on, I think that is, we already read that one about your problems about the GoFundMe. Better shut the, oh no, this is different. This is different. All you've done your whole life is blame all your problems on everybody, especially dad. You're just pissed off because dad's mad at you because a couple of weeks ago you were telling him and bragging to him about all the money you guys were getting on the GoFundMe accounts, and dad got mad and told you better shut them all down and give all the money back. And that was crap. You got pissed off at dad and you hung up on him. So quit trying to turn this around and blame everybody else for your problems. And then she's responding to someone else and says, go ahead. Choose his side. That's what he wants, is people to feel sorry for him. He loves playing the victim. She responds to someone else and says, you have no flipping clue as to how many damn times we flipping called CPS, probably at least over effing, which she puts a bunch of asterisks, 300 throughout the family. Then she responds to someone else. 300 times? Where are you getting 300 times? I was replying to everyone plus me in the family called CPS at least over 300 times on him and his wife and the terrible conditions they were living in. And then her niece then comes on and says, none of his stepfamily even care about the money. This is what I read to you before, but I'll read it again. None of us ever have. My grandparents are on Social Security and have no money, so not even sure why he is even stating anything about money, to be honest. What's sad is the fact that he won't bother to actually talk to any of us privately, even though we've all tried in order to avoid the drama. It makes no sense. And then she goes on, again, this is the niece, saying, damn, I wish I had borrowed $20,000. That would have been super helpful. I've never borrowed a dime from Grandpa. $20 here or there from my grandma, but sure. But $20,000, LMAO. The only one responsible for ruining your name is you. The only one responsible for the way your life is going to be you. For the way your life is going is you. Take some responsibility for your actions and the consequences, and people would have way more respect for you. And for the record, none of us asked you to stop calling Grandpa or to stay out of his life. We asked you to stop telling him lies. That seems like a normal thing to ask, especially since we can't even see our own grandma because of your lies. And then she responds to someone and says, thank you. She tried to tell her parents when it was happening as well, but no one helped her. It's a sad situation all around. We did speak to TBI as well as trying to message Don privately, but he refuses to keep things private. I guess someone was saying this doesn't belong on Facebook. Okay, I think I've gone through them all. I'm just making sure. Okay, so let's go to now the short phone conversation. Now, I will say, okay, that the creator that did this phone conversation is a creator that in my opinion has been abusive to the victims of crimes, especially to the Rusak family. Okay, so is a person who's been asked to remove home videos that don't belong to her, that were not in the discovery, by the family that has not removed them. In fact, they just deleted the family's comments to remove them. So that, and I've seen other things where this person, in my opinion, does not have a good moral compass or ethics. Okay, that's my opinion. When I heard of this telephone conversation, I listened for a minute, and I never heard her tell the person on the other end that this was recorded and going to be on YouTube. She says that the person knows that. That's all I can tell you. But she calls him and invites anybody else to call him too, and says his number's out there in public. And when he answers the phone, he sounds like he's been sleeping or maybe something else. And let's see. He confirms that the children were taken out of the home by CPS and says right now, with everyone attacking us, it's better for them. He was asked whether it was for safety reasons. He says no, and the phone cuts out. When they come back, he says they want Candus to do another lie detector. But I told her, unless it's the TBI, don't do it. He says that they have an attorney. He says that he's willing to work with the TBI, not some county official, for this lie detector. It's not him that they want to take, it's her. And he says Candus is at the end of her rope. Everyone is turning on them. He mentions those interviews. Let's see. He says that people go around saying they have an inside scoop with the TBI, that he sold his daughter for drugs, and it caused him to flip out, start drinking, doing drugs, I think he said too. He stayed off of Facebook. And then he's not anymore. The rumor about him leaving town, you know, he said they're trying to get Candus angry no matter what you say. Oh, he's trying to get Candus, he's trying to get Candus off of Facebook because he says no matter what you say, they'll shift it around to make you look bad or whatever. Now he's back on there, so no matter what you say. The interview with Allie, he said he watched that. There is an interview with Elliot, and I do have that, but that'll be another time. Watched It's So Ridiculous. And when asked that, she said that there was a truck and this and that. And he said, that is odd. And he also said that they said they were going to press charges against Candus for giving the vape and the alcohol. And he said that is not true. She didn't give it to him. He stole it out of the truck. Okay. Again, Candus is beside herself, and he sounded tired. And that was really the end of that. Not a lot to that. So now the search. The search is up to the last point that I checked and not coming up with anything. Again, they're going to go back to another county, but there is not much coming up from that. So I think that's about it. I'm going to go to the chat and see if anybody has any questions or anything to say. And hold on, the chat is catching up. Let me go back a little bit. She is mad. Dawn said she owes Dad $20,000. Yes, we did go through that post where he said that. Let's see. The family, whatever their issues, their verbal flooding has nothing to do with trying to assist. This is such far back red herrings. Yeah. Oh, that's what I wanted to talk about. These Facebook groups, are they helping or hurting cases? Again, this has been addressed by law enforcement in other cases. And law enforcement clearly said that I think it was the Cash Gurning case, that it's hurting because they're following up on leads, because when information is disseminated that is not real information, and when the rumor mill goes berserk, that it just leads a lot of people to start reporting stuff as facts that's not, and they have to check up on it all. Again, this is not me saying that every single thing is not right. It's not me calling out somebody specifically, except when I do it. But, so don't come at me for that. What I'm trying to say is that these groups can be problematic. We saw it a lot in the Cash Gurning case. We saw it with those casket photos. Somebody that should have never given out those photos posted them. The creator that posted those said they were given to her by a family member and that they wanted them on there to show this child was laid to rest properly. Like the YouTube video is needed to do that, okay? And then come to find out that is not the case. Family wanted those photos to be taken down. And they are already up there on the internet forever now because of poor, ethics, moral compass, whatever you want to call it. So, yeah, there are issues with things like these Facebook groups. And these Facebook groups can get mighty ugly. We've seen it where they go attacking victims. We saw it like crazy with the Watts case. How victims were attacked unbelievably, even their families, in these Facebook groups with all kinds of mockery. So, yeah, there are a lot of things that could be said about them, and they can definitely be hurting an investigation. So, doesn't mean everything now, and it doesn't mean every creator, obviously. But there are things, right? So, now, and like I said, it could lead to other things. The more people want breaking news, when they say there are no updates, and there's a lot of people that want instant gratification. We saw it in Cash Gurning, that breaking news was brought about every 3, 4, 5, 6 times a day, and yet it was nothing about law enforcement bringing it forth. And then there was mockery, people being called names, Special K, this and that. It's ridiculous. But as that continues and as people feed that, as long as they're feeding that and they want that and they don't care if it's lies and they don't care if it's rumors, And you have people calling in, as with the Cash Gurning case, saying, oh, I'm a neighbor, I'm this person, and you have no idea who they are? Don't you think how people do things for money, that there are going to be people that are paid to be experts? We saw it in the Watts case. A lot of the insiders, they're all fakes. Okay? And that brings me back to one thing. I didn't even plan to address this, but I will. Somebody told me that a creator put me on a hit list. Now, I still have not, to the person that said that to me, you gave me a timestamp. Could you give me the exact video? Because I really do want to hear this. This is concerning to me that I am on some type of hit list. I do want to hear how that was said, because I will bring it to law enforcement. So if you could send me that video and the timestamp. But in looking for that last night when I was going to bed, I did have to, unfortunately, listen to some other things that this creator was saying. And this creator is clearly lying and clearly following the narrative that was on that script. And again, that script meaning narrative. All about the Dirty South, all about this, all about that, and how they're going to go and how they're going to bring this out, and how Chris Watts is innocent and he is not where he belongs, and all of this crap. And I will tell you that any of you that are feeding into that, really, you're listening, giving kudos, joining memberships, all of that stuff on this man that is telling nothing but lies and supposedly putting other creators on a hit list. Shame on you. Shame on you for what he's doing to the family. Shame on you for supporting someone that's saying all this stuff, because you know it's false. Okay? They're going on, and I will tell you, there's some silly conspiracy blog. It's a blog. Now, the person in the Lazy Boy last night pulled it up as well and said that this creator said, oh, look at this news article. She called it a news article. That's not a news article. That's a biased blog, okay? Saying that Steve Wren, they're trying to make it sound like he's been arrested recently, and it's because of the Watts case, and now that this proves there's corruption here, and this is going to be reopened. And so she is lying through her teeth, okay? Because that's not a news article. That's a biased blog, a conspiracy blog, and the title even says conspiracy. So that is not a news article, okay? For anybody that needs help understanding that's not a news article, that is a blog, and a biased conspiracy blog. Go try to find any credible source about the attorney Steve Wren. Go ahead. Go try to find something about it and see if you can find a credible source stating what they're stating. They're using a biased blog to pretend that a case is being reopened. So, you know what? If you do believe stuff like that, and you don't know that a blog with the title that says conspiracy may not be giving you the truth, you know, I don't know. I don't know if you really need help figuring and deciphering that. Okay? But these people, what they're doing now is they're going to attack the family again. Okay? And they're going to once again say, at least, you know, I don't know about the Lazy Boy one brought up the article and said it was a news article and acted like it was breaking news. And then the mail that says supposedly that I've been told that I'm on some hit list is now bringing this up. Breaking news. This is all the corruption. We're going to blow this sky high. We're going to go through this with a fine-tooth comb. We're going to talk about the cover-up. Chris Watts is not where he should be. He didn't do this. He even points out Sandy said there's evil people involved, meaning that she's trying to twist her words, okay, to say that when she said there's evil people, that means there's more than one person that was at the house that night. No, she's not trying to say that. So good one on trying to twist those words. But it's ridiculous. So just, if you're supporting that and you're supporting this guy that's lying through his teeth, you're part of the problem. You're part of the abuse. You are. You're an abusive person if you are supporting that, because you know it's not true. He's going by the entire narrative. He thinks you forgot what I read, okay? And I didn't read all the stuff that they had there about Dirty South, okay? And he's mentioning the owner's name and all of that, okay? But I have everything still, and he's going off that narrative, and that's where he's going with this. And that's showing you, like most of the other creators have seen that narrative coming out there, and I'm going to call it a narrative now and not a script, that narrative coming out there is showing that this is all lies. And there's only a few that keep going on and they want to keep following this fake narrative. But you should all know it's a fake narrative. And then you want to turn it around and say that I'm working for the family and I'm trying to get you away from that. I don't work for the family. Sorry, I don't. Either that or my checks haven't been coming and I'm not working for them. So they don't tell me to say anything. They don't even know I'm saying this now. They don't even know that I watched that last night because I haven't talked to them today because I was been doing this interview. So that's how much I work for them. Okay, these are my thoughts. These are what I've observed, okay, and trying to look for where I'm on a hit list. Again, if anybody else has heard the hit list thing, please let me know the video and the timestamp so that I can report that, because that is a threatening behavior. So let me go and talk a little bit about, I think I just had a few thoughts on, there is controversy in the Facebook groups as to why people are posting about why they're giving interviews, and they said that they should go to law enforcement and stay quiet. There are many now in these Facebook groups where in other Facebook groups, I haven't, the problem, and I've always said it, you can go back in my videos, back. I said I hate these Facebook groups because you find people, go back to the Letitia Stout case. I said many times, I cannot stand the Facebook groups because you get people that literally know nothing about the justice system. They know nothing about law enforcement. They know nothing about facts. And a lot of times this is one of the first cases that they're following. And they will come in and say anything. And people will believe it hook, line, and sinker. What I am seeing in the one group is that there are people that seem to have a little more intelligence now. Okay? But in some groups, it's really, really bad. There's very, very few informed people. There's very few intelligent people. It's obvious. And they're one of the worst places that I feel to get information if you're looking for truthful information. But what they're allowing now is because there's a lot of family members going there, it's allowing people to go in there and try to get into those, intertwine with those family members in order to get a story, in order to get the next breaking news. And they don't care if it's the 12th cousin 18 times removed. We're going to try to get that interview with that 12th cousin 18 times removed. And what it does is brings up a lot of stuff. And then, you have to understand when you're dealing with a Facebook group, you're going to have a lot of bad for maybe whatever little good there is in there. And I think what we're going to see, and you can mark my words because I plan to leave this video up, in the coming years, you're going to see, unfortunately, a case or more be compromised because of this type of thing. We've seen it with certain message boards. Things have happened. But I think there's going to be people that get in real trouble, maybe people that are even harassed to the point that they are hurt, okay, because other people are saying they're suspects in something and they're knocking on their door and they're sending viewers around to their house and they've got cameras in people's faces that didn't even give consent to be interviewed, or they're trying, to go on someone's property to get pictures or whatever. They're trying to take something. And it's going to cause something to happen where the laws are going to have to change. And what's going to happen is there's going to have to be more control, and people are going to be liable for what they're saying and doing online and all of that. So I think we are going to see that. Unfortunately, that's what's going to happen anyway. Yeah. But that's what I have for you guys today. So yeah, I know it's a lot, but let's see. You just, yeah, Carol Lucy, you're better off not joining the Facebook groups. What these creators are doing to the Rusaks, throwing around conspiracy, are doing nothing but hurting them. Exactly, Rose, exactly. And I'm so shocked at some of the people that I see in there supporting this. I cannot even believe some of the people that are supporting this. It's really scary. It's really heartbreaking. I wonder where they would be, how they would feel if somebody was doing it to them. I really do. Why can't they just stop? The darn case is closed. CW is in prison, never getting out. Grow up. Exactly, Terry, except now they're saying he doesn't belong in prison because he didn't do this. Oh, and they're going to go on and on and on about dragon's breath and how easy it is to kill someone. Maybe they heard me talking about calla lily seeds the other night. Do you think they could have heard me talking about calla lily seeds the other night? Oh my goodness gracious. But the people that are supporting it, the people that are joining memberships for this, you're just part of the bullying and the harassment. I'm sorry, but you are. I know you don't want to hear it. I know you think it's somehow free speech. It's not free speech when these people are lying and saying a case is open. It's not free speech when these people are showing things and telling you it's a news article when it's a conspiracy blog. That's not free speech. That's slander, it's lies, it's hurting families, victims' families. It's wrong in every way. Liberty Farmer, I'm going to call you out because I'm tired of having my words twisted. Rewind. I did not say, she said that Chris was not guilty. And I did not say she said the case was reopening. I said that was a male creator that said that. I said she pulled up what she called a news article. That's what I said. She called it a news article when it was a conspiracy blog. Okay? That's what I said, Liberty Farmer. Let's see. But I know, whatever, she'll make another video about me because that's all she does, because that's what she needs to do. Nathaniel says, let's see. Okay, so I think we're all good here before I get too heated up with people twisting my words. I know whatever I say, they'll twist them. Thank you, Justin. Exactly, Robin. You know, nobody has a gun to anybody's head to donate to any GoFundMe, and everybody should do their own due diligence before they do anything. And if they don't feel for it, then don't donate towards anything. Hi, Susan Redding. How are you? Catherine B. says, sickening these groups rubbing pure salt and alcohol in the wounds, and they will never heal. The Rusaks have suffered the worst immeasurable pain. Grr. Yeah, I agree. I am sure they have their little minions coming in. Oh, their minions are right here, just like that person I just addressed. That is probably one of them that will go back and so that she can make another video. Because let's not kid ourselves of how she gets views, okay? It's by talking about people that are relevant, because we know what her views were before she started doing that. Debbie, thank you so much. Ethel Mertz, YouTube and Facebook give two craps about misinformation. Priority. Yes, that's why laws will change when something happens, Ethel, and that's the way it has to be. And it's very sad in our country. We don't pay attention to anything until something happens, then we can name a law after that. We can never, as a country, see something, even when we see something, okay, and we say, wait, something has to happen. We wait always, every single time until it's too late, and then everybody gets up in arms, everybody has a vigil. Oh my gosh, why did that person have to die? Why couldn't we have seen that we had to do this? Let's create a law, okay? And that's the way it is. Okay, right now we know harassment, bullying, all of this stuff that's going on, the stalking, the swatting, everything. And people are dying in these swats, like I said, but it's going to have to be more and more and more until something happens, because it's just too hard. It's just too hard to try to go in and correct it. So it's only 2 people that died. It's only 3 people that died. Only 5 people that died. Yeah, well, it's 20 people that died. Now maybe we have to do something. Let's wait till it gets to 100. Let's wait till it gets really big. Some really big YouTuber gets killed. Really, really big. Then we'll do it. Then they'll have a very notable name to make a law after. But that's what it seems like. It really does. And that's the way we've always been. Okay? We don't crack down on anything until something bad happens. And even when something bad happens, we still look at how many school shootings have to take place. You know, it's just like, we just keep letting them go. Oh, we made a little change. We think it's, a little change, a little. Okay, it's ridiculous. We just keep going on and on and on until many people die and suffer, and it goes to the Supreme Court. Exactly, Leah. Exactly. Amy says, Emery's video on the case are worth a binge, Debbie. That's why I had to say something. That crazy woman lives in a glass house. Why don't these channels invite each other? Because Wendy, she did come here, and she lied. She lied to everyone's face right here. Unfortunately, Wendy, these people don't want to tell the truth. They are fooling people, and they've got people that believe lies. So, you know, that's what it is. Hi, Amanda Love. I have stopped listening to others. Well, thank you, Nathaniel, for doing that, because that's being very helpful. I wonder if he watched any of your streams before doing that. Sorry. I don't know what sorry said. Sorry said, I'm very concerned. Comments. Oh my goodness, sorry. I agree with you wholeheartedly. And I have no doubt that Court TV and himself is probably flooded with emails, posts, showing the videos that she's done, showing all of the stuff she's done to victims' family, how she mocked them, right? All of the lewd behavior. Is that somebody? There's people, I'm sure, canceling their Court TV subscriptions. Okay, because I don't know where I am, you have to pay extra for Court TV, which I do. But yeah, that wasn't. I don't think that was a good move. I don't think that's something that's going to bode well. In my opinion, I don't think it's going to. I could have I called my subscriptions a while ago and haven't regretted it since. Flowing across the board. Guns. So, My oldest will be 30 next year. I still see her as a toddler. Oh, I know, Susan, right? You know what? It's so funny. I have to laugh at something. When my daughter and I were in the car and that lazy boy person was ridiculing us, okay? It's very funny when we talk about glass houses, because what my daughter did is something that I do all the time. Scooter can tell you. I was on the phone and we'll go like this. Oh my gosh, I can't believe it. Okay? So my daughter did that. Do you know these wackos said that I hit my daughter? Okay? I don't hit my kids. I don't hit my kids, number one. Plus, do you know how old my daughter is? Okay? I didn't hit her. And if you know anything about my daughter and how she makes her voice heard, do you think if I hit her in the car, she wouldn't have said anything like, what the freak are you doing? Okay, let's get that straight. Okay. But then I noticed that this particular creator, there are posts of her making her 14-year-old niece, I believe she's 14, pick a switch. And then bragging about it and showing it on the camera, how she's going to go beat her with it. And then also last night talking about how in public, in some kind of a sports game, she didn't like something that her daughter did. So she asked her ex at the time to take his belt off. She went on the field. Can you even imagine the embarrassment this daughter felt? She went on the field and whipped her daughter with the belt in front of everyone. And she is saying, and saying that I hit my daughter in that car. A person that out of their own mouth, this is what I mean when I say this is coming out of your own mouth. Okay, your own mouth and your own pictures where you're holding a switch that you're going to go beat your niece with. And she has another picture where she's waiting for, I think, the school bus to come home. Her friend, who now her friend, who wasn't her friend before, showed the picture on, but now I think she took down the video, our friend Mandy, where she's looking out the window and she's thinking this is fun because she's making posts about it either in her Facebook group or wherever they're getting these posts from. So she's thinking this is fun. And she's holding a big belt and she's waiting. She goes, I'm waiting for her to get off the school bus. Now, you proud of that. Proud that she's going to go beat her daughter with a belt. Proud. And then she says she has over 35 CPS calls. I wonder why. Did everybody see you beating your daughter with a belt on the whatever she was playing, soccer, softball, whatever it was? That must have been humiliating. I can't even imagine. I cannot even imagine. But you want to talk about me being an abusive mother? Go ahead. Go ahead. My daughter has 2 bachelor's degrees, a master's degree, and a beautiful position. Okay? I think I raised a pretty darn good kid. Okay? So don't talk to me about that. Okay? We're real life. My daughter was upset because of what you guys have been doing. Okay? And how you're coming into our real lives. Okay? And she didn't want you guys to go and start with her because she's sick of it and she won't take it. So, good luck. Anyway, but they play my videos all the time, and you know what? I'm going to start striking those videos. All those video clips that you're playing, maybe I should start striking them. Because it's obvious you guys want to watch because you keep playing them. And you took the one down the other night because I think somebody told me you played like 5 of our videos in there. I know they're entertaining, and I know you really want to watch them. But maybe I need to start striking them because you're using them to bully and harass. And that's not fair use. Okay? You're using them to create a hate mob. That's not fair use. So... and it's hysterical that you say hitting my kids. Ask my kids if I've ever hit them. Ask any of them if I've ever hit my kids. I don't hit my kids. Anyway, that whatever. So yeah, and I do that all the time. She does the same thing I do. Like, oh my gosh, it's almost like I could have had a V8, but we hit our leg instead when we say that, and it's like, come on, please. Oh my gosh. It's just so stupid. Oh, I'm not angry. Why, Debbie, am I angry? I'm not angry or disappointed with you. Why? You don't have to do better for anything. You're very sweet. I'm not angry or disappointed. Why? Don't you worry about that. You're a sweet lady. Thanks, Teresa. My mom is... Right. Oh, yeah. I must be jealousy. I must be jealousy, Julia Gulia. I see you named a Julia. I added a Julia to your name. I must be jealousy. You're right. I must be jealousy. Luke, what's with your hair? Can you tell these people how I beat you so unbelievably? Just
can't go on the camera. I have too many bruises.
Oh, yeah. He can't go on the camera. He has too many bruises. Good one. That's good. I got to cut your hair.
No.
That's a massive hair, Luke.
No.
You shouldn't be wearing that shirt with all those bruises. Oh my gosh. My kids love me, but if I got out of the car, they'd be like, Mom. Yeah.
So you remember this from you?
Yeah. Luke fell going down when we were hiking.
Oh, it's way worse in real life.
It's way worse in real life.
That was like 3 scratches.
At the bottom of the hike, when we were all finished, all of a sudden we see Luke take off running. And he fell like that right at the bottom of the hill. Right at the bottom of the hike.
My hands hurt.
Can you believe that?
Right when I thought it was all over.
Right when he thought it was all over, he goes running, and it's the trail is like there's a lot of little rocks on it. So if you're running or something, you could slide on those rocks, and that's exactly what he did. You slid on the rock, right?
Yeah, I'm fine.
You're fine.
Big brain.
But
this is how fake videos are like.
Oh, those are fake videos? That's what they do?
No, because they have like the freaking camera. And you know how they can flip the camera? They can see it right. So like this.
Oh, they're still... Oh, yeah.
And they're like, I'm going to be taking this watch. And you're right in front of me.
Oh my gosh. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Oh my goodness. Julia Gulia, I don't know what I need to read with those initials, but good luck. I don't think, if it's some kind of conspiracy blog, I don't need to read a conspiracy blog. You can see that, right, Susan? He's scared. What I said, not you're jealous, and I did change my name due to Billy's. You said, I think you have jealousy. Did you not, Julia Gulia? Tell me what that meant. You think I have jealousy? If I misunderstood you, please correct it. Hi, Dee Dee. He cracks me up. Yeah, his hair is a lot like Ray's. Ray had ringlets like my daughter, and when his hair, like it kind of grew like out. It was like really, he has the really thick, but he didn't have ringlets as a little kid. He had a wave. He didn't have the ringlets. Oh, is that what she meant, Sandra Kay? Well, I apologize if that's what you meant, Julia Gulia. But it didn't come out that way. So if that's what you meant, I do apologize. For me, that never apologizes, obviously. I apologize. Okay, I apologize then. I apologize, Julia Gulia. I hope you will accept my apology. Sean Sneed, hi. So anyway, I think we're going to go maybe swimming or something. But okay, as of movie night, I will update when that'll be. But we will start with the one showing, and I'll start with the Sergeants and Detectives, and then members be on standby, because depending on how many show, and you know that a lot of people, hi, Carolyn Fraser, how are you? We know that a lot of people can't always make it. So we may be able to get the members in that, like the deputies in that same showing. If not, we'll have another one right after until we get whoever wants to come in of the members. And I will post it, it on the community post page. Thank you, Julia. That's very sweet of you. Thank you. Appreciate that. And it's very funny that your name is Julia Gulia, because my son, they had a girl named Julia, and they used to lovingly call her Julia Gulia. And so when I saw you with that name, Julia Gulia, I was like, and then I saw Julia Gulia, and I'm like, what's going on with that? Didn't think it was the same person. Hi, Lady Jane. Sunday blessings to you too. Can you book back at the Robert Garrow case? Yeah, when I get a minute. I have to, the other thing I have to do is go over the fake Uber driver. And so I want to get to that. And I will do that. But you would love to speak to that? Okay. Send me an email on it, Debbie, with the case, because I forget names sometimes, okay? Star Marie, Mama Ames, Jeanette, Mimi, everybody that's come in, Jackie Blue, Robin Lane, Lori Cully, hey there. Love you too, Lori. Carol Lucy, Dare to Be Different, Shannon M. Everybody, and have a good one. Everybody that came in, Tracy Harrison, sorry, Shares. Let's see. AJ. I just made a joke. Oh, AJ's just kidding. Lori Anderson. Kathy. Vicky. What else do we have here? Let me see here. Jeanette, of course. Leah Free. Evlaw. Let's see. Rachel Ross. All of that good stuff. Anyway, I have to cut your hair so bad.
No.
I do. Look at it.
I like it.
You always hate long hair, you say.
I know, but I mean, it's like...
But what?
It's not like... pretty long.
It's pretty thick. Maybe thin it out a little bit. Maybe thin it out a little bit. What do you think?
I can cover my whole face with it, probably.
You could sell it for a
Mom,
comb over.
You need to cut your hair.
A toupee.
It's too long, Mom. Your hair's too long.
It's not long at all.
Yeah, my hair's not long, Ben. If yours not long, then mine's not long.
Oh, really? You know what? Sorry? My daughter's friend's partner did the same thing. Fully vaccinated and got the Delta variant. Not very sick, but still got it. Yeah, but they were at a big party. Yeah, I'm reading that. Bye, Luke. They said, bye, Luke.
Oh, I want to die. Yeah.
Don't do it. Robin Lane said, don't do it.
Don't cut my hair?
No.
Yeah, don't cut it. I'm thinking about getting a haircut today, probably.
She said, leave your hair alone. So did Mama Ames.
I know. Maybe I kind of want to shorten the sides for aerodynamics. So
Aerodynamics.
So I can run faster.
Yeah, I'm sure that is. I got a nice set of sneakers.
Which ones did you get?
I got them in the car. Go get them so I can show the people my sneakers. I'll show you my sneakers. You remember my other ones? And I bought hiking boots. But the ones I had, I liked them. They were really comfortable, but they had like zero tread on them. Even like when they're brand new, they had zero tread on them. So, of course, every single pair of Nike was on sale in Kohl's, except the ones that I got. And that's the same thing when I bought the other ones. And I could have got the ones that were just like what I had, and they were on sale. But I ended up getting these, and I thought they were on sale, brought them to the counter. I told you this whole thing. And the girl says, if you open a Kohl's charge, you get 35% off. And then she has me open this charge I don't even need. And then what? They're in the bag next on.
I heard the eagle.
You heard the eagle?
Uh-huh. Is it that noise?
Did you see him?
No, I just heard maybe.
He's probably telling us to go down the lake. Are you going to get my sneakers?
Where are they at?
They're on the front seat. They're in a shopping bag.
Front?
I think they're on the front passenger front seat, please. Thank you. Well, TC, they don't. I mean, I think obviously it's for reasons either of the conditions or, usually that's when they're taken. So that's all I can tell you right now. I don't have any official statement on that from law enforcement, just what we read. You can go back and you can listen to that part. We're kind of finished with it now. We're winding down. We're going to close up, but I just want to show you my sneakers. Is she? Is she live now? Okay, then I'll show my sneakers and we'll go. I just want to show you my sneakers. And then we'll go. It's either that or they go on sale next time. Yes, I know. But it's just with these sneakers I can never win. The last time they told me to, they're like, Nike never goes on sale, whatever. And then every single pair of Nike were on sale, except these. And I was going to go with the same ones, and then I thought, no, I'm going to go with these. Hi, Move, too. Did you get your cable or anything back yet? You got home from McDonald's. Good. Okay, so we'll go down there. Let me just show them, and we'll go down. He's calling. The Eagle's calling us. Thank you. Just. Oh. Here. I hope she took the tag things off. Did she? If that would be my other great shake. Yeah. But these have way more tread. These are actually a running. What do they call these?
Running shoes?
They call them. Let me see.
Are you gonna use these?
No, I just bought them. So I'm gonna use them as planters. I'm gonna use them as planters. These are the women's Nike Quest 4.
Hiking shoes.
My hiking shoes are coming.
And these are old shoes. So let me show you the difference. Actually, if you want to, these are new ones.
See, the old ones have like
Nothing.
they had like no tread to begin with. They're really light and airy, but they really, and that's what I was what I was hiking with. They're on their way. I got Keens.
Oh.
Yeah.
What do they look like? I want hiking shoes, bro.
I'll show them when they come.
Oh, I'm gonna need some.
And my feet are huge. I know. Saucony are cushy. Yeah, these feel good. These feel good. Because my other ones, the sole was actually so thin that you could feel things, but the sole on these is much, much bigger. These are running, and they say running. The other ones were something flex in there, but I don't know. So I'll let you know how they are. These are going to be like, walking, running, going around. But the other, I did get hiking boots, which I will because I needed waterproof, especially when you go up there. But anyway, all right, so we'll see if Sandra is on. Let me see if she's on. Let me just check before we go, and then that way I can put the link in if she is. Hang on, let me see. What is she making if she is? Let's see. She is. Okay, she's got my sign in there. Okay, Sandy, we're sending everybody. Okay. I'm giving you the link now, okay? Go raid her and say, we're all here from Mommy Ramblings. We can do a real raid for our first time. There you go. Okay, guys? There's her link. Go watch and say that you're coming in from Mommy Ramblings and we'll do a raid, okay? All right, I'm going to end this and I'll see you guys later. I love you.